from TAZS's Wig Closet. Is your wig stuck up? Stay tuned for some quick tips on how to tame that static electricity in your synthetic wig styles. Don't you hate it when your synthetic wig styles have all the static electricity and it just seems like some of those fibers just want to stick straight up? Either that or they're making a beeline right to your eyes, right? How annoying is that? And you can't possibly, if you're going to wear that wig all day, you certainly don't want to have that problem because you're constantly pushing them out of your eyes and it's just an uncomfortable situation. I find that the synthetic wigs that have finer fibers, such as my Belle Tress Columbia in Butterbeer Blonde, very super fine fibers, they tend to react more to the static electricity. I have more problems with those than some thicker, let's say, Noriko fibers, for instance. And also human hair. Human hair has a static electricity as well. It all seems to be worse in the dry winter months. So some of the things you want to avoid just to exacerbate that problem, you want to avoid overcombing, brushing, and styling. If you're anything like me, my hands are always in my hair. I'm manipulating it, styling it, and so forth. But the more I do that, the more flyaways and static electricity I tend to have. So in the winter cold months, when I know I'm more prone to have the problem, I really have to be mindful to not over style or over manipulate the hair. So I have a bit of a tray of goodies here I want to share with you today. And these are going to be some tips on how to tame the static electricity in your synthetic styles. We're going to take a look at each one of these one by one. So right off the bat, you could actually try washing and conditioning the wig. And even if you just wanted to do an overnight soak in cold water, that may actually help tame those flyaways as well. The first thing I want to show you is just a simple bottle of water, a squirt bottle. And what I like to do is if I have a lot of flyaways there, and like I say, worse in the winter months, and I just want to kind of move them and place them back into the style so they're not sticking up everywhere, sometimes a simple squirt of water will do the trick. So I just give a gentle squirt. I want to then avoid brushing or combing it after I've squirted the water. I simply want to scrunch or manipulate the hair back into the main style. And then sometimes when it dries, it will stay that way. You may have to do this a couple of times throughout the day, but if you resist over brushing and combing, it should stay down for you. Styling cream or a shaping cream, there's a lot of different ones on the market. This was John Renault contour fiber cream. And if I have some fibers that just wee tiny fibers that are trying to get into my eyes all day, that's no fun. And I've learned that if I use some of this paste, just get some paste on my fingers, rub it in and warm it up, and I will take some of those errant fibers and move them back into the style away from the face. And if I use enough product, it won't appear that I have a lot of product in. It'll just really tame those errant fibers from getting into my eyes or sticking straight up. So a fiber cream sometimes works. The other thing is that there's always a bit of anti-static ingredients in a conditioning spray. Here I have the John Renault conditioning spray, which also works as a detangler, and I have the Henry Margaux Revitalizing Conditioning Mist. Both of these products will tame static. So what I would do is just give a light mist, similar to what I did with the water, and kind of scrunch those flyaways back into the style. Plus it smells better than water, doesn't it? I'm just not a big fan of using a lot of product in the hair, so I would rather use water 2 or 3 times a day than put a lot of conditioner in it. Conditioners, even the lightest ones, tend to attract dirt, and so I really try to limit the amount that I'm using. But it does have an effect on static electricity. So if you've got some really pesky ones, you might want to try the conditioning sprays. If you have coarser, drier fibers, I'm going to use the example of, say, like a Renee of Paris Hudson, really tight corkscrew curls, and the flyaways are massive on that style. What I do is I just use a liberal amount of Simply Stylin' silicone spray. I put it in my hands and I just form that curl. I take the flyaways and push them back into the curl and reform the curl with this. And this has been most successful with the coarser type fibers. I believe that the standard conditioning spray will be effective on a lighter, finer fiber, but sometimes you need a little extra strength, and that's when I turn to the Simply Stylin' silicone spray. Let's talk about some anti-static products. I have here a dryer sheet. I've used these dryer sheets before for my static electricity. I'll just take one out and kind of embrace the flyaways in between, sandwich it in between that folded dryer sheet and kind of just pull it through and then move the fibers back. To be honest with you, I've not had much success with this. Now these can be used when you're packing your wigs and you put them inside of a plastic bag, which tends to generate electricity. You can probably put them in there and that will reduce the amount of static electricity. But if you've got a lot of fibers that are sticking up all over, this might not be your best option. You'll see that I've got another spray bottle here. I have prepared a solution, a 3-to-1 solution, 3 parts water, 1 part fabric softener, and that will help reduce static electricity. So I just have that all prepared in a bottle, and after I take it off at night is usually when I want to do this. So I prepare it for the next wearing by setting it on a mannequin head or something else, and I'll give a spray of this, usually right around the hairline, and that does seem to soften and tame those flyaways some. The other anti-static product that I have not tried yet, but I have heard several ladies say that they've had some success, and that is the Static Guard anti-static spray. And I think it was generated for like clothing and things like anti-static with your clothing and your sweaters and things like that. But I believe you could use it on your wigs, and several ladies have said they've had some success. So this is kind of what it looks like, the packaging and so forth. Like I said, I haven't tried it, but that's another anti-static measure that you could take and it wouldn't harm your wig. So if you have a particular trouble spot, like around the face somewhere, and you've got fibers just want to go right to the eyes, try changing the part. It kind of stuns those fibers into place a little bit and really helps out with the troublesome areas. The other thing that you can do in a pinch, and I never leave home without them, and that's these little claw clips. I carry these with me all the time. If I need to put my hair back to concentrate on my work or something that I'm doing, I can do that very simply and easily. So if I've got some flyaways that have started and they kind of want to go right into the face due to static, I can simply take and clip them back. If you do have some troublesome stick-up fibers, especially on the top, you might want to take some steam. Just a little shot of steam can sometimes make them lay down and settle down for good. So if all else fails, and I have been there and done that, lop them off. You've got some bad flyaways or some pesky static electricity on a few fibers that just won't respond to other methods. Lop them off. So I've got some hair cutting scissors here. So what you want to do is isolate the bad boys and take it and cut it right almost up to the root, okay? So that you're getting the whole fiber and that's done. I mean, there's plenty of fibers on your wig. You're not going to miss a couple by lopping them off so that they're not getting in your eyes and so forth. So I hope some of these tips will help your wig from getting too stuck up this winter. Enjoy your day, everybody. See you next time on TAZSWIG Closet.